Semper Fi, do or die, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain, and I've got Boosh with me here today. We're taking a look at something very special today.
Yep.
This is Tag Brewing's Legacy Lager. First things first, thank you very much, Brian, and your son for picking these up and getting them up to us here in Maine, because it's not available in this area.
No.
This is a very special beer, so we appreciate the effort. Always appreciate free beer, but there's a little bit of extra meaning behind this one.
Is.
So here's the deal with Dog Tag. It's a great concept. These guys donate 100% of their profits to community projects that are suggested by Gold Star families,
Yeah.
who are families who have lost a member in service to our country in the armed forces. I've never personally served myself, but my father was in the Marine Corps for 21 years, which included 2 tours of duty in Nam. So I've got a limited understanding of what that's like. We were lucky. The man came home whole and healthy. Luckier than most families from that time. And you've got some family that served, your father and some others.
2 uncles that actually went to Vietnam. They were there. My dad actually was in the service at the time of Vietnam, but he never actually was deployed to Vietnam. And I also had a great uncle that was on the USS Arizona when it was in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, this is a good story.
And actually, he was lucky to be on deck of the ship when it got bombed. So he was blown into the water. So he survived that. And I know a few other people that have been in the military. Well, I mean, some of our other friends.
Absolutely.
That we graduated with.
Lots of folks we went to high school with went into one branch of the service or another.
Yep.
So we want to thank you all for your service, and that's really what this beer is about. The whole brewery is around the concept of just kind of recognizing and giving back to communities surrounding the families that have lost members to the service. Like I said, these Gold Star families, they put together grant proposals, I believe. And the grant proposals are reviewed and either approved or disapproved. But if they are approved, they call them a legacy grant, I believe was the wording used. And it's community improvement projects, investing in youth, investing in
housing,
building, housing, that sort of thing. Just some really, really worthy causes. So if you see this beer in your local store, take some time out to look it over. And you know what? Just grab it. Just buy it. 100% of the proceeds go to a great cause. It's distributed by Pabst, which is big beer, which I'm not a big fan of, but you know what? I would buy this in a heartbeat.
Actually, Pabst isn't that bad neither.
No, they're not huge, but
they're really not. I mean, they're not like, well, weasel piss.
Yeah, it's
like some of the other breweries.
But anyway, the bottom line is this is a worthy cause. So
yes.
Whatever your feelings are about big beer, buy it.
Try it out.
I think most of my negativity towards Pabst comes from the fact that all these hipster douches are drinking it because I'm drinking it ironically. No, you're not. You're drinking it because it's cheap and you want to get drunk.
That's right.
Same reason any of us drink Pabst. So anyway.
Same reason why we want to get drunk.
Oh, yeah.
And not pay much for it.
Exactly.
We've done that a few times.
More than a few. I misspent youth and a couple of times as older men. So they've got a lovely hashtag that goes with this. It's Toast to Hero. Back of your can, my friend. So we've got Lance Corporal Eric W. Hersberg, Severna Park, Maryland, U.S. Marine Corps, K Company, 3rd Battalion, 2nd March, RCT 5, 2D MAR Division, 1 MEF FWD. I'm sorry, I should have really researched that and found out what all these things stand for so I could really tell you. Born June 7th, 1986. Died October 21st, 2006. So, very young man.
Yep. And this one is First Lieutenant Joseph J. Theinert, Shelter Island, New York, and he was born February 14th, 1986. And he was killed on June 4th, 2010.
So, couple of very young lives.
Yep.
But thank you and
Very
your
much.
families for your sacrifice. Check out the beer. Interesting story. Brian, like I said, the guy who got this for me, his son brought it up from over the holidays, and they actually cracked theirs open, and Brian's son actually knew the young man who was listed on the can. So, not that you really want anything like that to happen, but if anybody's going to drink that beer,
Right.
better somebody who knew him. So that's kind of a poignant moment right there.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, this is a very nice clear lager. I didn't get a good head on mine, but it is very effervescent in the glass.
Yes, it is. And that's typical of a lager, really.
Yeah, they don't really foam up really good, which is why some people actually salt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one actually, there is a lot of bubbles
Mm-hmm.
cascading, and that's probably because of the glass. But
yeah, that does help. But it is a very nice, clear beer.
Yeah.
It's going to be light and refreshing. I can tell that just by looking at it.
smells like a lager.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it smells a lot like Pabst.
Probably similar brewing techniques if it's
probably
by the same company. Not a lot of aroma coming off of it, which
No, there isn't, but it's still. But that's typical of a regular lager beer.
exactly.
Really.
It's a pretty light, refreshing beer. It doesn't have a lot of strong hoppiness or malt characteristic. I will say this: it's definitely not the same recipe as the Pabst, because with the Pabst, I do get a more distinct beer aroma coming off of it.
And when you actually tip the glass, it looks more like a with the foam there. It actually looks like a really good beer. Actually,
it's got some solidity to it.
Yeah. It's an easy drinking beer.
Oh man, that is smooth.
Yeah, it is. Very.
Smooth and easy. It's like I said, it's light, crisp, and refreshing.
It is.
But it's not. I don't know how else to say this. It's not overly beery like you get with a lot of American lagers.
Right. And it's. You mean well, yeah, beery. Yeah.
Beery, like the combination of yeast, hops, and malt. If it's not really well balanced, you can get just this stale beery flavor, which I'm familiar with from Budweiser, Miller. Don't get me wrong, I like them under the right circumstances, but this one is really easy to drink, and it's not unpleasant. And like I said, it doesn't have that negative beery flavor.
Right, and it doesn't have the aftertaste neither.
No, it fades very quick. I mean, I could see myself drinking a lot of this in one time.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So this could be a dangerous beer.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Are these the only two you got?
These are the only two I got. You're thinking we need some more sometime, aren't you?
Maybe. Need to get it up in this area.
Exactly. And I think they are working on nationwide distribution. They've partnered with Pabst, which is good for that. They'll get it all over the country.
I know, especially in this area, people would buy that. Just not even just to drink it, just to actually donate to the cause.
Exactly. I mean, I'll drink it for both. This is the kind of beer that we would buy a shit ton of and sit around a nice warm fire, spring, summer,
the
fall.
thing is, that's kind of what you want anyway when you actually do something for charity like this.
Something that appeals to the masses.
Something that will appeal to the masses and actually raise some money. I mean, that could be inexpensive too, and you're still going to sell a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say it. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5.
Yep. Me too.
It's not blowing me away with the beer taste.
Right.
It's not a complex experience, but it is a good, easy drinking beer. And honestly, you guys are getting a lot of extra points for what you're doing.
I would drink this actually over Bud Light or
Over
Budweiser.
Bud Light, over Miller Light, yes. Over Coors Light. Any of those easy drinking beers. That
But
are
not
just,
because of this. For me,
pardon
anyway. Not because of that. Because of the taste, actually.
Yeah, taste wise, I
taste-
would definitely prefer it over that.
Very good.
Absolutely. So, like I said, 5 out of 5, just based on the fact that it's so easy drinking, and mostly for the charity work. I mean, take that away and just put this as a regular beer. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 because it's definitely above average in terms of your average beer. But you know what? Your charity work, I gotta say that's perfect. Is the perfect drinking experience for me.
That
Damn.
says it all right there.
How is it coming back up?
Not bad.
Nice and smooth.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, except for the breakfast that we tried earlier.
Yeah. So, you gonna offer a rating?
I said 5.
You did. I'm sorry.
I said
missed
the
it.
same thing.
I was too busy in chit-chatting with myself and being involved with the sound of my own voice. Well,
Yeah,
folks,
that's all you like.
if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit us up down below with a like and a share. Click that little subscribe button. You'll get a notification every time a new video is posted. We got about 5 out of 5 for both of us. I'm going to put a quick user poll up here. You'll be able to rate the beer yourself, 1 through 5. Hit us up in the comments and the email link down below. Love to hear what you have to say about the beer or the overall experience, or anything you want to say about family members who have served or the great charity work that these guys are doing. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Cheers, folks.
Keep drinking.
And the big swallow for American heroes. Can't put a finer point on it than that.
Maybe.
Now, a little while back, we did a bit of a comparison with the Not Your Father's Hard Root Beer review.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for the beer, man. So, highly recommended by you. The Extreme Beer Fest this weekend. We'll be able to get a hold of, I believe it's the American